Hi, in this video we will study Back N Arq Protocol. So under Back N Arq Protocol we will discuss this topic. That is, we will see how sequence numbers are added in Back N Arq. Then we will discuss the sender and receiver sliding window. Then we will study how an acknowledgement is sent. Next we will discuss resending a frame and timers. And last, we will study the design of Back N Arq protocol. So as discussed in the previous videos, we know that the protocols at the data link layer for flow and error control will be of two types, that is for noiseless channels and for noisy channels. These three protocols, that is simplest, stop and wait and stop and wait ARQ, we have already discussed in the previous videos. So in this video, we will study Back N Arq protocol, where ARQ stands for Automatic Repeat Request. So let us start with Back N Arq protocol. Now Back N Arq protocol is used for noisy channels and it is a protocol at the data link layer for flow and error control. So in the last video we had discussed the stop and wait ARQ protocol and we had seen that one of the problems of stop and wait ARQ protocol is that it is very inefficient because it sends only one frame at a time. So it will waste a lot of bandwidth. But in Back N Arq protocol, the sender can send multiple frames at a time before waiting for an acknowledgement. Also, since multiple frames are sent at a time, sender will keep a copy of the frames until an acknowledgement is received for the frames. So like the stop and wait ARQ protocol, this Back N Arq protocol also will have sequence numbers so the frames can be easily identified. Also a timer will be present in Back N. So if the acknowledgement is not received and the timer expires, then the frame will be resent. So now let us discuss sequence numbers in Back N Arq protocol. So if a sequence number is of m bits, then the sequence numbers will range from 0 to 2 raised to m minus 1, where m is the number of bits in the sequence number. Now say suppose that the sequence number is of 2 bits, so m value will be 2. So sequence numbers will range from 0 to 2 raised to 2 minus 1, so it will be 0 to 3. So if m is 2, then sequence numbers will range from 0 to 3. That is, first it will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Then again the sequence numbers will be repeated, that is 0, 1, 2, 3. Then again it will be repeated and so on. Now the reason it is 0 to 2 raised to m minus 1, because say suppose the sequence number is of 2 bits, then only 4 combinations are possible, that is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. So in decimal it will be 0, 1, 2 and 3. Let us consider another example. Now say suppose m value is 4, that is the sequence number is represented by 4 bits. Then over here the range of sequence numbers will be from 0 to 2 raised to 4 minus 1. So it will be from 0 to 15. So the sequence numbers will be 0, 1, 2 and so on till 15. Then again this sequence will be repeated. Then again this sequence will be repeated and so on. Now over here the range is 0 to 15 because in this case m is 4, that is the sequence number is represented by 4 bits. So if it is 4 bits, then in binary 16 combinations are possible, that is from 0, 0, 0, 0 till 1, 1, 1, 1. So in decimal it will be from 0 to 15. Next let us discuss sliding window in Back N Arq protocol. So this sliding window is basically an imaginary box covering the sequence numbers. Now we know that in Back N Arq multiple frames will be sent at a time. So as a result the sender will have a send sliding window. So this send sliding window will define the number of frames that can be sent before waiting for an acknowledgement. Similarly at the receiver side, the receiver will have a receive sliding window. So next we will discuss send sliding window and receive sliding window in detail. So let us discuss send sliding window. Now this send sliding window is an imaginary box covering the sequence numbers which will define the number of frames that can be sent. So this is the send sliding window. So only the frames with sequence numbers currently in the window can be sent. So the maximum size of the send window is 2 raised to m minus 1, where m is the number of bits required to represent a sequence number. So the window size is denoted by S size. So S size will be 2 raised to m minus 1. Now say for example m value is 4, then the window size will be 2 raised to 4 minus 1, that is 15. So it means that if 4 bits are required to represent a sequence number, then the size of the window will be 15. So over here in this figure, the size of the window is 15. Also, as discussed earlier, we know that the range of sequence numbers will be from 0 to 2 raised to m minus 1. So in this case, m value is 4. So the range will be from 0 to 15. So over here in this figure, we can see that sequence number will have range from 0 to 15. Now over here only 13, 14 and 15 are shown, but actually it will start from 0 to 15. Then again the sequence numbers will be repeated from 0 to 15. Then again it will be repeated and so on. So let us assume that currently the send window is for this part, that is covering sequence numbers from 0 to 14. So if it is covering from 0 to 14, then it will have a size of 15. So the window at any time divides the sequence numbers into 4 regions. The first region, which is to the left of the window and which is not a part of the window, defines the sequence numbers of the frames that are already acknowledged. So it means that the sender has already sent frames with these sequence numbers, and the sender has also received an acknowledgement for the frames with these sequence numbers. The second region, which is colored in orange, is a part of the window. So these are the sequence numbers of the frames that are sent, but the receiver has not sent an acknowledgement for these frames. So these frames are also called as outstanding frames. Also the first outstanding frame is denoted by a variable SF. So over here in this figure, this is the first outstanding frame, that is a frame with sequence number 0. Now the third region defines the range of sequence numbers of the frames that can be sent but they are not received from the higher layers. So over here in this figure, these are the range of sequence numbers of the frames that can be sent but they are not yet received from the network layer, and they are part of the window. An SN represents the sequence number of the next frame to be sent if data arrives from the network layer. So over here in this figure, SN value is 7, which means that a frame with sequence number 7 will be sent if data arrives from the network layer, as all the previous frames are already sent. Next, this is the last region which is not part of the window. So the frames with this sequence numbers cannot be sent until the window slides. So until this window slides, the frames with this sequence numbers cannot be sent. And this window will slide only after receiving an acknowledgement. Next, this is the window after sliding. So the window will slide to the right only after an acknowledgement is received. Now say suppose in this figure, the frames with sequence number 0, 1, 2 are acknowledged. That is, acknowledgement has been received for these 3 frames. So the window has slid 3 slots to the right as these 3 frames are already acknowledged. So over here we can see that this window was starting from sequence number 0, but now the window is starting from sequence number 3 because these 3 frames are acknowledged. Now also these 3 frames, that is frames with sequence numbers 15, 0 and 1 can also be sent because they are in the send window. Also, we need to know that the receiver may either send cumulative acknowledgement or it may send individual acknowledgement. Cumulative acknowledgement meaning the receiver can send acknowledgement for many frames together, and individual acknowledgement meaning an acknowledgement is sent for each frame separately. So this is the sliding window at the sender side. Next, let us discuss the receive sliding window at the receiver side. So the receive window will make sure that the correct data frames are received and correct acknowledgements are sent. So the size of the receive window is always 1, and the receiver will always look for a specific frame. That is, say for example, receiver is expecting a frame with sequence number 3, then only frame with sequence number 3 will be accepted. So if any frame is out of order, then that frame will be discarded and then sender will have to resend that frame. So the receive window will have only one variable Rn, and Rn value is the next frame expected. So over here in this figure, Rn value is 3, so it means that a frame with sequence number 3 is expected by the receiver. So the sequence number of the frame which is expected by the receiver will be in the receive window. So these sequence numbers to the left of the window belongs to the frames that are already received and also an acknowledgement has been sent. And the sequence numbers to the right of the window are of the frames that cannot be received. So the frames with this sequence numbers can be received only after the receive window slides. So any frame which is received with a sequence number in these two regions will be discarded. So only the frames with sequence number matches with that of Rn value will be accepted and an acknowledgement will be sent. So over here in this figure, since Rn value is 3, only frame with sequence number 3 will be accepted. Next, this is the receive window after sliding. So the receive window will slide only one slot at a time. That is, when the correct frame is received, the receive window will slide. So this was the receive sliding window at the receiver side. So next let us discuss how an acknowledgement is sent in Go Back N ARQ protocol. Now we know that the acknowledgement is sent by the receiver. So if the frame is not corrupted and if the frame is in order, then the receiver will accept the frame and send an acknowledgement. But say suppose if the frame is damaged or corrupted and if the frame is out of order, then the receiver will be silent. Silent meaning the receiver won't do anything. So if the receiver is silent, then after some time the timer will expire and the sender will resend the frames. So this way the receiver will discard all the frames until it receives the expected frame. Also over here the receiver can either send a cumulative acknowledgement or it can send individual acknowledgement. And acknowledgement is always sent for the next expected frame. So cumulative acknowledgement meaning acknowledgement is sent for many frames together. So let us see how this cumulative acknowledgement is sent. So we know that acknowledgement is always sent for the next expected frame. Now say for example the sender has sent frames 0, 1 and 2 and all the 3 frames are received correctly by the receiver. Then the receiver can directly send an acknowledgement for the next expected frame. So suppose the next expected frame is 3, so the receiver will send an acknowledgement frame with acknowledgement number is 3. So it means that the previous frames, that is the frame 0, 1 and 2 are received by the receiver. So this way a cumulative acknowledgement can be sent, so which will also help to reduce the traffic as less acknowledgement frames will be sent. Also, if required, the receiver can send individual acknowledgement. That is, the acknowledgement is sent for each frame separately, and acknowledgement is always sent for the next expected frame. Next, let us discuss resending a frame in Go Back N ARQ. Now, one problem of Go Back N is that a lot of frames may be retransmitted. Now, we know that sender can send multiple frames at a time. So, say suppose sender has sent frames 0, 1, 2 and 3, and consider that this frame 0 is lost during transmission. But in Go Back N, the receiver will always accept frames in order. So the receiver will wait for frame 0, and even if other frames arrive, that is even if frames 1, 2 and 3 arrive, then it will discard these frames. So after the timer expires, all the frames will have to be resent. So as a result, it is called as Go Back N ARQ because the sender will go back and resend all the frames. Next, let us discuss timer in Go Back N ARQ protocol. So the timer can be for each frame that is sent, or there can be only one timer for the entire window. So if timer expires and acknowledgement is not received, then the frames will be resent. Next, let us discuss the design of Go Back N ARQ protocol. So we know that this Go Back N ARQ protocol is implemented at the data link layer. So at the sender side, the data link layer will get the data from the network layer. It will convert it into a frame and then send the frame to the physical layer. The physical layer will then send the frame over the transmission medium. Then at the receiver side, the data link layer will receive the frame from the physical layer. Then at the data link layer, it will extract the information for it and deliver the data to the network layer. So after delivering the data link layer will send an acknowledgement frame to the physical layer, and then physical layer will send the frame over the transmission medium. Then at the sender side, the data link layer will receive the acknowledgement frame from the physical layer. So each of the data frames will have a sequence number, and each of the acknowledgement frames will have an acknowledgement number. So this design is similar to the design of stop and wait ARQ protocol, but over here multiple frames can be sent and also multiple acknowledgement can be sent. Also the sender will have a send window. Now the send window we have already discussed in detail earlier. So SF is the sequence number of the first outstanding frame, and outstanding frame is the one which has been sent but an acknowledgement is not received. And SN is the sequence number of the next frame to be sent. Also at the receiver side, the receiver will have a receive window, and the size of the receive window is 1. And RN is the sequence number of the expected frame. So this receive window also we have discussed earlier in detail. So this Go Back N ARQ protocol will also have events, and at the sender side there will be 3 events. First event is the request from network layer, that is the data link layer can send the data frame only when the network layer has data to send. Second event is notification from physical layer, that is the data link layer can receive the acknowledgement frame only when there is an arrival notification from the physical layer. And the third event is timeout, that is if the timer expires and if the acknowledgement is not received, then the frame will be resent. And similarly at the receiver side there will be one event, that is notification from the physical layer. That is the data link layer will be able to receive the data frame only when there is an arrival notification from the physical layer.